Hello, hello, and welcome back to Fate Extra. So last time we we finally dealt with poor old Alice, and now it's the route choosing time. As I mentioned previously, we're going with the Rani route, and it's mostly because Caster has an interesting interaction with the enemy and her route. So we're gonna go for that. Without anything else, let's go on ahead and choose our route. Very tense. The tension in the air reminds me of how I feel when an opponent pairing is announced. My pairing hasn't been announced, however. I recognize the two girls in front of the bulletin board. The girl in red is Rin Tosaka, and the other girl, the same age as Rin, or a little older. The girls size each other up, and without a word, they glance away from the other. One of the two girls will die. That is the fate that is what her fate has decided. Rin Tosaka and Rani 8 are equally powerful. I can only gain from one taking the other out. Hi, Julius. I'm not the only witness. It's Julius. He walks over to the bulletin board after the other two have left. Neither side will hold back in the battle. If I could watch the fight, I would learn quite a bit. Without a single glance this way, they leave. I really don't understand, but I'm nervous anyways. Yeah, you don't really need to save. It's literally just a scene, a really quick scene. The moment I see Rin Tosaka, I know that my time has come. Her body language is as aloof as ever, but I can see the focus in her gaze. Today's the day that they fight. One of them will die. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Julius. That's nothing unusual, but it worries me. For some reason. What Julius said in front of the bulletin board about Ronnie and Rin and Rodney's battle still bugging me. Maybe it would be a good idea to track down Julius. From outside the multimedia room, I hear a faint voice. I put my ear to the door in order to hear better. It's Julius. I can't make out the details, but he's talking about a program's code. I knew it. The firewall around the battlefield is just too strong. The security is highest there. I sense him moving, and shuffle away from the door. In a panic, there's nowhere to hide. It's you. His aura of murderous intent makes my heart leap out my chest, but when he promptly leaves. Even though he's tried to kill me in the past, Julius doesn't seem to register my existence. Maybe I'm not worth it for him to suffer yet another penalty for fighting outside the arena. The multimedia room is a bit bigger than regular classrooms. At the front of the room is a screen. Instead of a ceiling projector, there's an old-fashioned film projector. That's odd. It could be here all the time for all. It could be here all the time for all I know. I never visited this room. Mister, this device is out of place. My servant's right. That film projector seems to be warping the very air, data around it. Something must have been done to it. Roll that, Julius. For what purpose? Let's reach out to inspect it. A bunch of code pops out. Weird. When I touched it, sparks went flying in my brain. I think I was attacked by some program. But although it made me dizzy, the effects passed immediately. I don't think it did any damage. Wonder what it was. Somehow I don't think it was Julius's doing. I'm pulled from my reverie by the earth-splitting sound of a weapon. Someone means business. I brace myself, thinking Julius has returned, but he's nowhere to be seen. Then suddenly, an image emblazons itself into my brain. Rani. Next to a slim form is a giant servant, and facing them are Rin Tosaka and her servant. This must be an elimination battle between the two of them. The film projector spins into motion, projecting images of the battle up onto the screen. Alright, showtime's over. Getting to watch other masters fight would be a huge advantage in a war like this, where information is crucial to survival. It goes without saying that it's a total violation of the rules, but I expected nothing less from Julius. In any case, why did Julius leave halfway through? Probably he was expelled, is my guess. What was his plan? Or did something go wrong? Aren't you going to watch, Master? Those two are having a pretty wild fight. My servant draws my attention to the screen. Rin and Rani are facing each other. The form of their servants can't be made out clearly. The image quality isn't bad per se, seems like there's a masking effect overlaid to hide them. Even with that security measure, I can tell both servants wield long shafts. They're both lancers then. My eyes only see the sparks from their lances as each thrust parries, swipes, and defends. Rani's servant seems massively powerful, but Rin isn't giving an inch. Either one could win. I see. The girl in red will win. That would declares Rin's victory, as it were obvious. The other master is aggressive, but seems too slow to respond. At least level, that's a fatal flaw. Oops, sorry, am I spoiling the movie for you, Master? I'll be quiet now. Rin notices she's winning too. Her posture is full of confidence. On the other hand, there's a hint of alarm in Rani's otherwise expressionless face. And then, the clash suddenly stops. I can't make out what's going on, but I can feel that there's a space between the two opponents now. The one who backed off was Rani. The servant contorts and starts gathering energy. Even though the blurry screen, I can tell an inordinate amount of power is being summoned. I am sorry, Professor. I must return the chassis and life you bestowed upon me. Maximum velocity, infinite, helm of the northern sky, mode Osiris. Continuation of duties deemed impossible. In case of failure, destruct self along with moon. Performing final directive. Wait, what? Atlas homunculi can pull off crazy stuff like that? You fool, this isn't something to self-destruct over. After taking a beating from Rin, Rani seems to be intending to use her last resort. Never mind Rin, wouldn't that liquefy the entire arena? She has a command seal. That's a trump card that can only be used twice, in the entirety of the war, and Rani just used one. No, her command seal isn't what's causing this horrendous power to well up from within her. Her heart is a kiln on the verge of exploding. Anyone who saw her right now could tell. Rani's body was built with the capacity to overload like this. Your magic circles are at critical convergence. You don't need to throw your life away like this. Ooh-wee, kamikaze, huh? Yep, he's talking, never mind. Rin's servant addresses her in a flippant tone. You're totally unsuited for the intensity of the situation. Her heart is immediately for light. Before she blows up the arena, skewer her core with your noble phantasm. Oh, I like it when you're desperate. Right, a treat. Alright, it's finally time to end this. At Rin's command, Lesser takes a stance and gathers strength. It builds and builds until... This is the end. Gaster speaks to her mind quietly, in her deference to my feelings. But I get the meaning loud and clear. This will settle the battle. They will destroy each other before they can even resort to command seals. Both of them might die on the spot. Even if one of them survives, she'll probably be fatally injured. While I'm lost in those terrible thoughts, Gaster starts staring at me. Master, you're not thinking you ought to save one of those girls, are you? I didn't realize I was telegraphing my emotions, but more importantly, what did my servant just say? Could there be a way to save them? It sounds like there might be. What can be done? Well, I can say there's no way. Her eyes are downcast. She touches my left hand, my command seals. This screen connects this place to where they are. This isn't impossible to reach them. But only your command seals could teleport me to where they are. So it's actually impossible. Still, command seals exist to make miracles happen. And, I probably need another command seal to survive if I have to fight, so 2 command seals. If this is what you want, Master, of course I'll do it. But you lose 2 precious command seals and save a possible enemy. Do you want that, Master? Alright, so as usual, like I said, I'm going to rescue Rani. Rani's going to self-destruct in a second. I'm going to listen to my heart and save her. My servant springs into action, with no sign of disapproval. Time is of the essence. Power surges through my feet, electrifying the air and bending the floor. Space warps around me. The distortion rips a hole in the screen. My servant leaps towards it, and the world melts into streaks. Everything goes black with a rapid acceleration. My hand tingles where the command seals burned off. When I open my eyes, I find myself in the arena. Out of the frying pan into the fire. Literally, the air sparks when the arena begins to melt around Rani. What? You. The magic swirls around Rani's body, ebbs in a bit in response to her surprise at the sudden intruder. Before I can do much as blink, a Rani's hulking servant has turned his spear against me. No, stop, Berserker. That person is not an enemy. Rani's orders falls on deaf ears. I expected as much. Since her servant is a Berserker, he can probably only see other masters as enemies. Uh-oh! They've seen us. I don't think we can win this. Use another command seal, Master. We can defend against them. The Seraph should intervene. Nah, we don't really need to use it. I'm just gonna go ahead and use Fiery Heaven all the time and end with this one. Nice, we got a sun off there too, that's pretty cool. Guy only uses his skill on the last one, so it's always good to either guard or caster uses her skill there. We should survive with the skill. There we go. Yep. Somehow it was overcome. My intervention is clearly a rule of infraction. With the warning from the Seraph, the fight should now be put to a halt. Rani's body slumps onto the ground because she's been run through by the lance of Rin's servant. During those seconds where Caster arrested Berserker's attention, he threw his lance into Rani's heart. Sorry, it was too good a shot to pass up. I had to show off my trump card. The giant gives a bestial roar and charges at the lance wielder, who impaled his master's chest. However, an impossible barrier drops down between Rin and Rani. Maybe it's because of my intrusion, or because the Seraph declared the victor. Rin's shouting something, but the barrier prevented me from hearing it. She pointed at me, frightened. No, she's not pointing at me, she's behind me at Rani. Hooked on the end of the red lance, it did pierce Rani, is an energy core on the verge of exploding. Get out of there, you! Hurry! Log out! Danger, danger! Master, we better do what the Seraph says and log out. We'll die if we're hit by that. We'll die! Log out. I know that's what I have to do. If I just give in to the pressure warping around my body, I'll be back on campus soon. But then, what about her? What about the girl that was lying wounded on the ground? A barrier separates her and Rin. I, who had fought with the Berserker, was suddenly by the fallen girl. Yeah, I think this is wrong. Was suddenly by the fallen girl by Rani. She's alive! Even though her chest is pierced through, Ronnie's still alive. Yeah, I knew it! I knew you'd end up doing that! Suddenly I realized I'm running towards Ronnie. The lance that pierced her is a few meters away, where the core is about to explode. Why? I'm not worth it. At least you should get away. I'm not listening. I gather Ronnie in my arms and run, waiting for the Seraph to kick me out. It doesn't happen in time. Faster than a Seraph can log out, Ronnie's heart liquefies the arena. In the final moments, a lone giant springs into the light. Ronnie's servant's body breaks apart, becoming a sort of shield for us as he runs towards the heart. I don't know if he didn't protect his master simply because he saw the explosion as an enemy. But right before he disappears, he storms towards us with a gentle smile on his face. And number 3. I come to in the multimedia room. The command seals on my left hand is now smaller, but my exhausted servant and Ronnie are by my side. Where? Why? 2 words are all she can manage. She blacks out. The wound in her chest seems to have healed already, and somehow, still alive without the heart. I always sensed that she was special, even among masters. As I turn to Ronnie, I glance at the screen. It's dark, probably because of the earlier explosion. Ronnie is recuperating in the nurse's office. From the looks, I think she's in pain. According to the doctor, she woke briefly, but immediately fell back into a comatose state. They say her body is fine, so she must be mentally exhausted. After nearly an hour, Ronnie's long eyelashes flutter open. She blinks twice, 3 times. Lost. Her voice is small, and her words are spoken flatly. She stares blankly into the thin air, her eyes glassy and distant. She reminds me of a broken doll. Talk to her. I try to meet Ronnie's eyes as I begin speaking to her. She doesn't respond. But the faint breathing and blinking, she's so lifeless she can pass for dead. For a short while, Ronnie's eyes slide shut again. Her shallow breaths even out in a deep, gentle breath of sleep. Doesn't seem like she'll get up anytime soon. I hope next time she wakes up, she is more alert. Come to think of it, I haven't heard a peep from my servant in a while. He must be angry. Me? Angry with you? I could never be angry with you, master. I'm just thinking really hard. Would you feel better if you talked? I always do. Let's see, something to talk about. The tone of her voice is the same, but her words seems forced. What's really on her mind? What I'm thinking about? It isn't anything to be talked about, really. I was just thinking how valuable that woman must be for you to use a command seal for her. But no matter how you look at it, that girl is broken. You wouldn't abandon her, would you, master? I wonder if it had been me, would you have done the same? Whoops, silly me. I shouldn't think about me when my master is the one who's really valuable. My master could do 200 command seals, and still deserve one more to use more. Seemingly satisfied, Caster leaves. Too nervous to call Caster back, I decide to leave for now. I look up to Serene Tosuka, leaning casually against the wall. She's obviously waiting for me. Now, I hope you have one hell of an explanation for what you've just done. Just her glare is enough to convey all the anger and hostility she has towards me. Not that I blame her. If I had interfered with the Colosseum, we would all be dead. Considering her power as a wizard, Rin could just drag me somewhere and fight like Julius did. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure her curiosity is the only thing keeping me alive. If Masters can start teaming up, it'll completely destroy the balance of the Holy Grail War. Even if most skillful use of command seals shouldn't be enough to bypass the Colosseum's security. To be blunt, you don't seem to be that great of a wizard. How'd you pull out the impossible? I'm a free master, remember, that I reward truth and reason and punish lies and stupidity. Don't be naive enough to think Julius is the only one who knows how to circumvent the rules. I'm willing to risk drawing the ire of the system to deal with a threat of this magnitude. Since Julius was able to start a fight on campus, I'm sure Rain could easily do the same. If it comes to a fight, I'm in no condition to face her, and I really don't want to fight her. If I want to avoid confrontation, I should probably just tell her the truth. So Julius was behind a little stunt. I didn't think you had it in you to do something this low. As no real battle information was exposed, the identity of Rin's servant remains unknown. Though she would never admit it, it's obvious she's more than a little relieved by the thought. Of course, Rin being Rin, her facade of suspicion and hostility didn't disappear entirely. Yeah. But if Julius wasn't able to break through the security, how did you manage to pull it off? Trying to break through the firewall could have caused the system to fry your brain. Dun dun dun. Foreshadowing. The Seraph Attack program. I remember having to deal with it at first, but it doesn't seem to affect me anymore. That can't be right. Even if your body is safe, your brain wouldn't be able to handle the strain. Oh, speaking of which, aren't you, I could see the bewilderment in her eyes. Her confusion almost overcame her normal animosity. Never mind. I'm just thinking out loud. Forget I said anything. However, if we choose to continue fighting, we will remain enemies. Keep that in mind. One last thing. Do not spy on me again. Should you try that, your suffering will be legendary. With that, Rin begins to walk away. Then she stops, as if thought of something occurred to her. Hey, does the name Twice Peaceman mean ring a bell any chance? Twice? I don't really recall hearing the name. Might have heard the name before, but why bring him up now?
So?
No reason really. Kinda reminded me of him. Never mind, just forget I asked. I'm left alone with my thoughts, as she turns and walks away. Alright, and that's pretty much the interludes. On to the 4th week, I mean. Now I can save. That was a long little thing, so we can just save and go on to the actual first week.
力を持つがゆえに道を踏み外す。道を踏み外すために逸脱した力を願う。この矛盾もまた人間の証である。紛争のない世界。調和に満ちた世界でさえ特例は現れる。何のために
Next combatants will be announced in the second floor bulletin board. It's the 4th such notice, and the bell that signals the 7th day countdown of my next battle sounds. It begins again. My hands are stained with the blood of free people, and I still remain. I've been taking the life of a child. Master not, Alice was just a young girl. I wonder if I deserve to be alive, and what is my reason for continuing on? Chiji was determined to survive until the end, even as he screamed in panic he didn't want to die. Though Dan was true of heart, he died still believing that every battle was a true meaning. And Alice, who just lonely, lost little child who only wanted someone to play with. The one who overcame them all and took all their lives in the process was me, using my servant as a weapon. I wonder if my purpose is enough to compensate for taking their lives, my purpose to avoid death. And for what Dan said, that he wanted me to find some meaning in my battles. Could I really find something like that inside myself when I don't even know who or what I am? Even if the memories that were erased before the prelims were to return, could I find it within me? To find meaning in any of my fights? Alright, let's go on ahead and talk to the weirdo. In response to the alert from the computer terminal, I go to the bulletin board. Among the meaningless clutter, I find one piece of paper that I'm interested in. Master, Monji Gato, a battlefield, the 4th Chimeric Lunar Sea. I wonder what to make of the name.
貴様が小生の相手か
The deep, steely voice came from behind me.
ぬるい面持ちをしている
You seem to
五
have
章戦い
about
と
me
は
talking.
無縁なそう思わせる面構えだなさしたる覚悟も高尚な目的も持たず欲界に流されるままやってきた流浪者そんなところか
I'm approached by a man built like a mountain. He radiates confidence, and his eyes glister with fanatical assurance, though I'm not sure what about.
小生か貴様のような流浪者と一緒にされては困る。小生はこの浮世で最も尊き目的のために戦地に赴いている。それは我が神を世界の神とすること。まさにこれこそ浮世のレクイエム。
And you sense it, the ferocity of power flowing out of me, shielding me from the carnage. Oh, but this power is not mine, my friend. I am but a vessel from the omnipotence of God. Glory to the highest, enfolded by archangels' wings named Samadhi and, oh my god, Suvarnaprabhasa. If my God was with me, I shall trust even the uncertainly Apocrypha, and I shall not fear Goliath. No, Hariti, not even Johanneum should birth a Sukuvati of this magnitude. It is acceptable for this god, so rich in power, to have but one lowly follower. Nay, not even Plato's demiurge could be satisfied with such a thing. All humanity deserves to reach Eden. Do you not agree? And that, my friend, is why I must win. It is my destiny. I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about. One thing is clear, this man named Gato has conviction and passion, in suffocating quantities. Yep, there we go. With the announcement of my opponent, the prep period begins, but I can't bring myself to care. What the hell am I? Why am I here? How did I end up as a master in the Holy Grail War? These three questions race through my mind, thinking it the impossible to concentrate on anything else. Master, you're taking things far too seriously, although Ikshay on the negativity... I don't know what that means. On the negativity, okay? Oh yeah, I bet you forgot about the person you accidentally rescued. You should tease her a little. Listening to Caster's dog reminds me of something. The one I saved using my command seal to disrupt her elimination battle should be in the nurse's office now. I wonder if she's alright. It might be a selfish thought on my part, but I wonder if going to see her will change anything. I should probably go to the nurse's office later and visit her. And we'll do just that. For now, I'm just gonna go ahead and see if Caster has anything new interesting dialogue.
Let
we did. Alright, let me see if she has anything else to say. Where? Well, we're halfway through, Caster. Hey. Well, that's what she says. Anyways, we can now go to we can go to the library, but really, it's not really much interesting. I already talked to Leo, and there's nothing really all that interesting in the I talked to him in the Saber playthrough. If you want to see what he has to say there, you can go into that one. I quietly push away the curtains and approach Ronnie's bed. Since I don't hear her moving at all, I assume she's asleep until I see her eyes are wide open. Staring blankly into space, I try to greet her, but she doesn't even look my way. Then suddenly, Ronnie's mouth opens. Her wide eyes remain unfocused, and her body doesn't move, but small monotone words escape from her lips. Why did you save me? Ronnie repeats herself, staring at the ceiling. Why did you save me? Because your brain was about to be destroyed, because you were going to die. You were killing each other, and I was about to watch someone die. Anyone would have stepped in. At least I had to. I might not have memories, but it felt like my past self was urging me on. How arrogant of you. Now I can no longer carry out my professor's wishes. Without the last parallax artifact created by the Atlas Institute, I no longer have purpose. Ronnie speaks without inflection. The parallax artifact must be that heart or whatever that she tried to drive critical. No, if it was really her heart, she'd be dead. She's always been emotionless, but now how despondent she is right now, it really takes the cake. What are you? My words just die. I come here to stop worrying, and her questions drive a stick into the bee's nest of my emotions. After I am unable to answer for several long, tense moments, Ronnie mutters my name. Hakuno Kishinami. She keeps talking, as if drawing slowly closer to a conclusion. You took away my one reason to be here, the mission bestowed upon me by my professor. In other words, I no longer have a reason to exist. When Ronnie falls silent, she simply stares blankly at the ceiling, as if refusing a further contact. Then I save her life in order to discover my own reason, the raison d'être. She has a motive to risk her life for the Holy Grail. With my intervention, I managed to waltz that and cripple that motive. Suddenly, I'm starting to startle out of my silent contemplation by a beeping from my computer terminal. The primary cipher key has been generated. I think I should be good to follow the prompt from my terminal and leave this place. Hey Sakura, do you have anything for me? Welcome back, Hakuno. You're fast again, how wonderful. I don't have any medicines for you today, but I've made a lunch. I hope you like it. Alright, let me see if I have any, You don't have any skills, so you don't go into the, thing. You're gonna go into the, There he is. You know, the more I see you, the stupider you seem to get. A bit of seemingly heartfelt abuse could only come from one person. Luckily, I knew to your ignorance, but seriously, I need to talk to you, okay? It looks like you somehow managed to wreck the barrier, even as you'd play dumb for Julius. I've never heard of a wizard who could pull something like that off. Just who or what are you? You better have a convincing answer, or your trips to the reading will become a nightmare. Rin's gaze becomes sharp enough to cut glass. I somehow know that the wrong answer will be fatal. However, the realization makes it easier to answer, as I have nothing to lose at this point. To find out exactly what I am. Probably. Several people have asked me the same thing, and their curiosity is tinged with suspicion and unease. Am I really so different from the other masters? Rin's expression quickly changes from one of hostility to one of unease in the blink of an eye. That dejected expression of yours makes it look like a puppy, and since I don't kill puppies, fine, just take this and go to the arena now. As she's speaking, Rin hands me something. A jeweled pendant. Why would she give me? Take this and go where the anomaly in the arena was detected. Anomaly? What could possibly... The anomalies are flaws in the arena's construction from when the moon cell constructs a seraph. To think of them as flaws in the firewall, normally secure data will sometimes be leaked through them. Unregulated data streams, unprompted dispiritrons, and other things are all distortions. That gem has been banned as a mystic code. It'll let you access any distortions you find. Distortions contain various kinds of information. You might learn something to allay your worries. It's a simple process, really. Just drag down the distortion, and the pendant will do the rest. If my theory is correct, you should be able to learn more about yourself, I'm sure of it. A clue about my identity, the opportunity to learn more about myself will be worth any cost. I'm grateful I accepted her gift, ignoring the potential for danger. If I can find any clues about myself, the rewards will outweigh the risks. For the time being, I need to thank her. This is just as soft as ever, I see. Oh, the areas in the arena you'll need to find will be shining. We'll see each other again, if your luck manages to hold, that is. So I just need to take this with me to the arena and find the shining areas. To charge this item and find the clues about myself, I'll hunt down the arena's magical hotspots. And let's do just that, let's go into the arena. There's nothing really special in the Matrix Yeah, just Gato. Nothing really new. Anyways, actually, yeah, I need to switch my equipment. Let's go for stun. Let's go for speed. Why not? Where is it? There we go. Just quickly go through the maze. I can sense our enemies, Master. That's not good. Really not good. I have a bad feeling about them. We should avoid contact with them until we know more about what facing the one nasty servant. Alright. Let's speed up. Alright, that's that, and let's take care of you. Wait, did I get the wrong one? Yeah, I did the right one. What the hell is it not? What? Why are you not firing? Am I going crazy? Oh, it's first strike, dumbass. There we go. I put the wrong one by mistake. Whoops. I can just do this, no problem. Fucker got poison, really? Mother? Oh well, at least we got him. Alright, so, yeah, we have two ways of going. Where the hell is the... Yeah, that's the entrance. Hold on, I want to take a look at the map. Okay. We finish up collecting this, then we have two ways. Yeah. Okay, now I see where the map. There we go. There you go, that should be a perfect battle right there. And boom. Got a remedy. Alright, we won't be able to 100% the map on this one. Especially since we don't even have the Tiger one. But it's fine, really. In general, this week is very fast. It's basically filler. Except Rani's route, the enemy is actually interesting, I will say. Mostly because it's also what do you say, crossover character? So that's why it's kind of interesting. Punk. Also, down there, where the arrow is pointing, is where the Tiger quest spawns tomorrow. Anyways, I'm just gonna map half the map today, because we are gonna get stopped here. And tomorrow I'll do the left side of the map. Why not? It's not really that surprising, really. Donk, donk. And... is we gonna get poisoned again? We didn't. Alrighty then, it's this thing right here. This must be the spot heavy with the residual magic that Rintosaka told me about. Approach. When I approach the light, the splitting headache tears through my brain, but it leaves as soon as it comes. Now that I've come into contact with the residual magic, can Rin find something out about me? Alright, now that I've done that, I set out to the arena. I guess I should leave. Little lamb, that indolent behavior is this I see. Have you strayed from the path of battle? That grating voice must be Gato. Damn, we're in the arena. The servant's right there. Does he want us to go at it now, right now? Now, Divine One, show us your light that illuminates 3,000 worlds. Is that a berserker? That's my least favorite class to deal with, but I'll do my best. Observe them. What's going on? He's not coming at us. Is something the matter, my god? Ha! You've decided to consecrate this place as a training ground. Then I will walk whatever path of the needles you choose. Endure the whips of a hellish demon for you. I revel in the self-flagellation that you allow me to suffer on these grounds. You heard me, child. There's no time for us to play today. You have my permission to excuse yourself. It looks like your lives have been spared by some sort of divine will. You should retreat for now, Master, like that freaky guy said. I wouldn't mind fighting right now, but I have a bad feeling about it. If Caster wants to retreat, then it's better to follow her advice. Retreat for now, and when we know more about them, we can engage. Indeed, nothing really we can do on this about this, so let's just get out of here. I guess I can just look at the other area. Why not? The exit's right over there, but we can go around and just expect this area. I do think the moon dust gives us more XP, but at this point, I don't really think it's worth grinding this spot, since we're already level 21. There we go. Bye! 300 is not that bad. Honk. What the hell? I almost missed that guy. Alright, there we go. Nicely critical. Nicely done, and he's gone. Goodbye. And we have over here, this is nothing, literally nothing spawns here, which is a bit of an odd decision. I guess to make the map a little bit more symmetrical, but still. An odd decision. Speed up again, and deal with that guy, and that should be the entire map. Almost the entire map. There we go. Eh, close. Still got a little bit, hit a little bit. Realistically, I don't think the stunning is doing anything, but I do like to stun them before I attack. There we go. There we go. He's gone. There we go. We got everything, or most everything. We're still missing that last part over there. No, not that way. No, but it's this way, actually. Alright, and that is that. We can just exit and be done with it. Tomorrow, a dangerous enemy is gonna show up. I will fight him, and I will show off in the video, but other than that, I'm just gonna skip the arena and the next day. There's nothing he's gonna show up. Master, that girl gave you something today, didn't she? It won't go kablooey all of a sudden, or leaks information about us, will it? What a great plan, Master. Go along with what the enemy wants. Wait. Well, let's ask that girl about the distortion stuff. Yeah, Castor is in the right. It was a pretty dumb decision to trust Rin right there. But then again, Rin wouldn't really do that, so that sort of stuff. At least with someone she likes. Yeah, it's the same straight buildings we've seen a million times. A dream suddenly descended upon me. It feels like I'm watching one of the countless videos scattered across the internet. It is a scene that I have witnessed before while sleeping in the aftermath of the Grail War prelims. It might be the scene from a past I cannot recall. It is as if it was imprinted upon my genes, stored away in an unknown trauma erased from my memories. I hear the voice of lamentation. Why, why, why? Why do I yearn for something I despise? Why do I lament for whichever I love? In the midst of chaos, I watch as countless people die in misery. Why does blank move forward towards that scene? Is there an answer for this insanity? And if there isn't one, I will need to create one through my own strength of will. I have no need for memories. I don't really need a past. All I need to do is keep fighting. I hear a distant voice asking me to wake up. My eyes open. I just remembered tattered remains of a broken dream. That dream just now. I can't attach a memory or event to it, but I'm sure it was a dream of my past. Or of that fact I have no doubt. It drives me insane that no matter how hard I try, I can't recall anything about my past. As I can't do anything about it, I should just let it go for now, or until I remember something. What's the matter, Master? Wait, never mind. You're thinking about that girl in the nurse's office. But it's more important to think about the item you received and the magic burst that happened. Right, I'll find out what that means. Ren's probably in her usual spot, so I'll worry about Ronnie long enough to ask about my headache. Okay, let's go talk to Castor again, just to check out if she has anything special to say today. Anything new? Nope, it's just the usual stuff. It's just the usual stuff. She will have something to say when we beat up the dangerous enemy later on, but for now, let's go to the roof, talk to Rin, and then go to the nurse's office to talk to Ronnie. Did you find the anomalies? I tracked them down. Collecting the data gave me a headache though, I wonder why. Just a headache, you say? I see. I had imagined that you would suffer some poor condition, but I didn't think it would be all. The pen I gave you does, in fact, absorb residual magic power. However, well, to be honest, accessing these distortions puts a murderous amount of stress on the brain. Stress on the brain. Yes, the feedback generated would be enough to kill you if a magic circuit wasn't present. The icy grip of terror grips my spine. Was that all just a trap? Have you put too much trust in this girl? Wait, that can't be right. I accessed the distortions yesterday and I'm still alive. So what does it all mean? You should try to make some kind of sick joke at my expense? This proves it. You can't be a Magus. To be blunt, chances are you're not even human. What the hell? Did you just say what I think she said? You aren't human. Or maybe your brain is abnormal. I'm not sure what you are actually. I think you might be the same as the homunculus girl. Both of you are anomalies at best. Are you really in the dark about how you arrived here? I don't know, I just felt like I can half recall a dream that I can't remember ever having. A dream? Well, in a virtual world. In theory, there's no difference between spiritual and dive-in dream. Like a dream within a dream, you are truly a mystery wrapped in an enigma. With those final words, Rin Tosika turns and leaves. So I'm not a real Magus, and I might not even be a human. That has to be describing someone else's nothing extraordinary about me. Even about my memories, I'm sure about that. Yeah, keep living in denial, Hakuno. Anyways, let's go talk to good old Ronnie here. Just like yesterday, I pulled the curtains aside and quietly take a seat at Ronnie's bedside. Ronnie's awake, her eyes are still blank as she's still motionless. Ronnie sees me looking at her. Do you enjoy gazing at a broken tool? Tool? How did she say that? I hope she'll clarify what she said. And in answer to my spoken plea, Ronnie continues. I am a tool. I exist to acquire the Holy Grail. I live only to retrieve the Holy Grail from my professor. And now I have failed, so I am a broken tool. I must disintegrate into dust, return to the cycle. She speaks in a flat monotone, the light gone from her eyes. She says she's a tool, and that the Holy Grail war, she is nothing. This is nothing. I just want to know one thing. Did this professor of hers really raise a person solely for the task of retrieving the Holy Grail? That would mean that she has never experienced her will of her own. My professor has done everything for me, from bringing me into the world to loving and teaching me. My professor wished me for the Holy Grail, and I am a tool to grant my professor's wishes. Then what would Ronnie wish for if she had the Holy Grail? She's putting her life on the line for her professor. What about what Ronnie wishes for? I'm kind of pissed off by what I'm hearing. I mean, if her professor told her to jump off a bridge, she probably would. My professor's words are absolute, and I believe this is none of your concern, Kishinami Hakuno. For the first time since the battle, Ronnie scolds me, her voice raising and her eyes narrowing. Please leave, and do not come back. That was clearly a bit different from yesterday's rejection. If she would just open up to me, I feel like I could help her. I'll try something back tomorrow. Coming back tomorrow. The elimination battle may be over, but I haven't truly saved her yet. True enough. Alright, let's go into the arena. Right, there's nothing going on in the arena. I'm gonna cut to when I get to the cipher key, and I'm gonna cut again when I get to the rare monster. So I will see you in a little bit. See you in a while. Alright, we're here. We're back at the cipher key. Or whatever the hell you want to call it. Trigger, whatever. We finally found the trigger. If those twos are, no, that'd be too perverted, right? Yeah, I don't really think they're like that, Caster. Not at all. Anyways, let's go ahead and fight the big bad over here. Shouldn't be too hard, but I'm going to save state just in case. You never know. Bonk. Yeah, just as I expected. Anyways, let's go for Fiery Heaven. Fiery Heaven. Actually, let's go for a Spirit Thief. Then we go for Fiery Heaven. Fiery Heaven. Attack, break, attack. Let's go for that. Ah, we got them stunned right in first place. Oh, we got it right. Perfect. Actual perfect. Nicely done, Caster. Alright, next. Yeah, let's go for guard. In any case, we can go for this one, then we can go for break, then we can go for this, we can go for break again. Alright, that was funny. Get stunned, we get his break, so we can get our bit of MP back. Frigid Heaven again, get stunned again. There we go, we use break again, so we can get a little bit back. Ouch. That definitely hurt. And let's go for this one. You can just do Frigid Heaven twice, do this, and this. They're pretty good. Now we got stunned again, nice. Nicely done. One more. Alright, the next one. It's done. Nice. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Alright, let's get out of here. the last thing we need is the Tiger quest is gonna spawn tomorrow. So there's nothing really much we can do. Can save, I guess. On to the next day. I've been too preoccupied with the conversation with Rin yesterday to gather information. Not good. Give me a second. Okay. What's the matter? He doesn't look too well. Warm voice envelops my poor frazzled soul in an embrace. It was nice of me to do so, but I happened to overhear you and that girl talking yesterday. I have pondered why you gave off a different vibe than the other masters as well. Are you still worried about what she said? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because there is no sense in being uncertain of yourself. I do not believe many people are ever self-aware. Can't you accept not knowing as part of your identity? Make it a part of my identity. What the world? Good day then. Alright, dickhead. Leo left before he could come up with a witty retort. See you later, Gawain. However, his servant sends a look back my way. His eye seems to be saying, "You're being given good advice, don't waste it." Although his eyes convey chivalry, it is not without an air of pity and condescension. What Leo told me earlier has been dominating my thoughts. It's about what I can do now. That's right, for now I'm a master involved in the Holy Grail War. Since that is the only clue I have of my identity, I should do what I can to try to understand it. Maybe if I could compare myself with the masters I faced, I'll learn something about myself. Shinji. I try to recall everything I learned about Shinji. In reality, he was the champion of the Asian tournament and a Spiritron hacker. He was only 8 years old. The role assigned to him during the preliminaries round was a class clown and my friend. At the same time, my role was to be his friend and sidekick of sorts. But is that really the truth? Was I ever really Shinji's friend? I can't remember anything else. As if my memory is all clouded over. As I try to push deeper into my mind, it's almost like something is actively pushing me away. I can't remember anything more. Are you really worried about that, my master? I think you're wonderful, just the way you are. Although, I have to applaud your earnest desire to rediscover your origins. So no need to hurry, but if you do find your answers, you'll tell me, won't you? Something about how she said all that kind of irked me, but I can't doubt her sincerity. The fact that I want to know who I am, I want to know where I came from, I want to know what there is for me. You might get some answers if you talk to everyone around you. I'm just saying. Even if that one girl says that for herself, the only way to know oneself is to first understand others. Guess I may be onto something. Talking to others might give me some insight into my true self. For now, I should go to the nurse's office. I want to check in on Ronnie, maybe pick up some info as well. Let's see now. We go into the talk to Tiger, talk to Ronnie, and then go to the arena. So, first of all, let's go into the R room. Here's a special convo with the caster about defeating the rare enemy.
やりましたね、ご主人様。どうなることかと思いましたが、あっさり倒しきりました。二人の愛の勝利です。何のことかって？あれですよ、あれ。アリーナで珍しいプログラムと戦ったじゃないですか。レアエネミーとでも言いましょうか。あの連中はいろいろ美味しいですから、今後もきっちりやっつけていきましょうね。
They do give us a lot of XP, so yeah, I'm actively looking for them. That was pretty much it. Kind of underwhelming, but yeah, at least we have her encouragement. Anything else?
戦いも中盤。
Nope. Alright, off to go and talk to Tiger then. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Hakuno, something urgent has come up. You have to help me. Yes, ma'am. You're my hero, I mean it. So I decided to try my hand at cooking and ripped up a feast. Though I've made a perfect dish, but the system labeled it as a bug and moved it somewhere. Rumor has it, my culinary tour de force is languishing in the arena, awaiting deletion. If it is recovered today, it'll be sent to this bin for history. Please, you must hurry. Yes, we'll do that. Don't worry, Tiger. Now on to Ronnie. My head is filled with worry for Ronnie as I make my way towards the nurse's office. When I reach the area where their beds are, she's as expressionless as always. I think I see more of a gleam in her eyes than yesterday. You've come again. Ronnie welcomes me with the barded words, but they're spoken quietly, with a note of reservation. I have nothing to say to someone who speaks poorly of my professor. Please leave. Ignoring her words of dismissal, I speak over Ronnie. I need to talk to Ronnie more, if I want to draw out more of her feelings. Plus, it helps me relax to know that what's on her mind. It seems I'm not a human being. I tell Ronnie about how Rin found out that I'm not a human being, and that I have no idea what I actually am. Ronnie listens attentively to what I have to say. Unlike me, Ronnie at least knows who she is. That's why it irritates me that her professor's words dictate her life. When she hears that, Ronnie replies with a gentle tone. My professor is my everything. My professor is my progenitor, my teacher. When I ask her to hear a little bit more about her professor, Ronnie lights up and words pour out. Although I was but my professor's tool from inception, my professor raised me as a human being. Because I was not created with as much emotional depth, carrying out my professor's wishes is my all. Yes, we are the same. I think you and I both are empty vessels, Hakuno. The same? What does Ronnie mean by that? She can't meet my gaze. After a long silence, Ronnie looks into my eyes and delivers a cruel truth. I have created a hypothesis based on your talks with Rin Tosaka. Do you have an actual body? You do not have an actual body. I'm not taken aback to respond. I'm too taken aback to respond. I don't have an actual body? Magical backlashes have no effect on your brain, though technically that is impossible. You would have suffered damage if you had a body. I am no exception to that rule. Without evidence in hand, there can only be one conclusion. Only a body that doesn't exist cannot be damaged. Perhaps you are but a string of ones and zeros, Hakuno? No, wait, just hang on a second. Oh, please don't misunderstand. To say you don't have a body doesn't mean it isn't out there. It just means you're disconnected from it. I've heard you had issues with the prelims. Perhaps the link to your body was cut off before the preliminaries. It is only natural for your memories to be hazy. You are severed from your database, your body. I see. So I don't have memories, that I can't retrieve them at the moment. If that's the case, I just need to repair my broken link. This must be quite problematic for you, Hakuno. If you don't mind, please allow me to help. Ronnie will help me relink with my body. That's the best news I've heard all the tournament. I impulsively grasp Ronnie's hand and thanks her fervently. Of course, we're in the same boat after all. I'll devote my time to find the location of your body on Earth, Hakuno. What a relief. Once I have my body back, I'll learn everything about myself. Why I entered this fight, why my history is what my life is like. Once I know those things, I will be able to fight with pride. Ronnie smiles softly, as if reading my thoughts. We are the same, Hakuno. For I too have been on a quest for this whole time. I just remembered. Remember what? Ronnie smiles at me. I think she gets enjoyment out of seeing me worked up like this. She lost her earlier hesitancy. I'm afraid I'm a bit worn out, and so I apologize for my unsociable behavior earlier. Maybe talk again tomorrow. She really didn't have to ask. I nod yes. Satisfied, Ronnie settles down to sleep, citing, "It's a promise." I guess it's too draining of a conversation for someone who's currently bedridden. I'll leave her for now. There's an arena to explore anyways. I mean, technically we already explored everything, but you know what I mean. Let's go to the chapel, level ourselves up, and get going to the arena. Yep, let me see. We already have everything. Let's go for magic. Alright, that's it. And yeah, the last thing we have to do is we're at the 4th floor and we have to talk to Gato before he enters, so let's go ahead and do that. As I head into the arena, I bump into Gato at the doorway. He appears to have just finished exploring. I have to fight? I stand at the ready, but Gato's at ease. Giving it your all? As time passes and your chakras slow, senility will and death creeps closer. Therefore, trave ever harder, my beloved foe, for then will you be a worthy sacrifice to my god. As always, it's sprouting nonsense. Still, I can't help but ask why he entered the war. A motive. I simply wish to bathe in the world in the light of God, as is the will of my lord. As I am God's soul's mouthpiece, you may bow before me, to be forgiven for your trespasses, little heretic. So ridiculous. Whatever. I don't bother opening my mouth, because Agato won't shut up anyways. Oh lord, please guide this young soul to the light of your mystic eyes. It is only, if only for the culling. At least he gave us some information. Gato's manic laughter echoes in the wake of as he leaves. Problematic as his motive is, it actually does make sense. Insane fanatism drives him. As for me, I wonder if I had a potent motive too, before I lost my memories. Mister, did you hear? He told us the characteristics of his god. Mystic eyes. But knowing Gato, there's no special meaning behind the words. There we got Matrix 1. Alright, that is the first Matrix for this guy, and alright. That is gonna be the last exploration of the thing. And alright, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna cut. So see you in a little bit. Alright, we're done. We can finally get out of here, and that's gonna be the end of the part for now.
無事終わりましたね、ご主人様。
Think you're perfect as you are, Master. You don't need to rush into getting your memories back. But if that's your decision, I'll support you 100%. No. I'm not overcompensating for the fact that I almost triggered a flag in the nurse's office. Alright, we can take a look at what the mystic eyes are, whatever. Really funny that his fanaticism decreases her mystic eyes abilities. Alright, we can save, and that's gonna be it for now. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for the next part of Fate Extra. Ciao.